Tukwila, the most diverse school district in the nation, reported by the New York Times. The highest crime rate in the nation, reported by an insurance company. And my church, with 5 acres of land, several buildings, and a congregation that believes it's its job to take care of the most vulnerable in society. I grew up, however, in a home like this. Although we arrived in Seattle when I was 10 during the Boeing boom and there was no housing, that's as close as I ever came to homelessness. But now, I want to take you on a tour of the property in Tukwila, where I live and work. Welcome to the home at Riverton Park United Methodist Church. Currently, we house 11 people in tents, 4 in motorhomes, 1 in a garage, 6 in Sunday school rooms, 2 in other corners of the church, 18 in houses, a varying amount of people in cars, usually around 50 to 60 on the property. Today, 21 of those people are children. Each with a story both to inspire and break your heart, each dreaming of a home of their own. This was Steve's home. Due to failures in our healthcare system for those who are homeless, Steve died recently. His home sits empty for now. I think you're going to see a slide of a toy. It's a toy house, and many of you, oh, we still have some of these. It is more time than I thought when I sat with my stopwatch. You're going to see a Fisher-Price house here in just a minute. A Fisher-Price house that was a gift to my daughter when she was small. A house that many children play with and dream of growing up into. An expectation of what life will be like. But I learned a lesson one day when Joseph was over at my house. Joseph lives on the property. He was about 2 years old then, and he was acting like a 2-year-old, and I needed to calm him down. So I sat down on the floor with him, and we played with this house. And he wasn't really getting engaged, so I said, okay, well, let's put people to bed. So we dragged out the little Fisher-Price people, and I dragged out the beds, and I laid each one at a bed, and I very carefully placed a tissue, a Kleenex over each one as a blanket. Joseph was having nothing of it. He wasn't interested. He went off doing something else. So I turned my back and I went away. This is what I came back to. Because this is what bedtime looks like at Joseph's house. Everyone sleeps on the floor, very close to one another, because there are 10 people who live in Joseph's 2-bedroom house. I learned what home means that day. And I've learned ever since what is a typical house for those who live in Tukwila. It could be a senior woman with dementia, or at least aphasia, who tried living on the streets and then tried living in a hotel until the hotel manager took advantage of her too many times. And she struggled to find her way to our door and has been there for 6 months because she doesn't quite qualify for help. And yet, she's not safe on the street by herself. So she washes our floors and does our dishes for us. Have you ever seen a garage organized as well as that one was? He's lived there for 3 years. He keeps his peanut butter in much better rows than anything at my house. These guys share a room, two men in this room. They take care of one another, and they've set up a bicycle repair shop. This used to be a Sunday school room that was only used 1 day a week for about 2 hours. And now men live in this room. More than 50% of the people in Tukwila use more than 35% of their income for housing every month. And 1 in 5 of our children, 1 in 5 in Tukwila, are homeless. 1 in 5. Different than when I was growing up and I knew no one who was homeless. At least the kids know someone else in the same situation. 18 people sharing a refrigerator, Sometimes it's full, sometimes there's not much there. The man who has this room has gone to work every day for the last 3 months and yet has so much debt to pay and an eviction on his record that he can't get housing no matter how much money he makes. So he finds this little corner of our building. This is the woman with dementia. The wall that you can't see in this room has a big window that goes into the sanctuary. There's absolutely no privacy for her, and yet she's made a home, and she keeps it very neat and tidy. Housing in Tukwila is very, very tight, 90 to 95% occupancy in the homes, in the apartments. Rents require about $18 an hour full-time income to sustain housing. Is there hope? I don't know. These are the pictures of the homes that have been built recently by my church. $550,000 for one like that. These homes aren't accessible to the folks who live on my property. They're for a new clientele moving down from the north and often displacing the locals. My church has a plan, though. My church has a plan to build 30 affordable homes on our property, built by Homestead Land Trust. Will it happen? Depends on the funding from the state, from the county, and from those who care. To keep our kids in our schools and our families together, we have to do something different than building homes that are not affordable. I don't have any answers. I just have hope that we can figure it out. Thank you.